Welcome to another educative session with Glower Tutor. Alright, this is a must-watch video before your Neco 2025 biology practical with questions and answers. Alright, specimen A here, a housefly. Now the botanical name for housefly is Musca domestica. It says identify the specimen and state 2 diseases it transmits. Identify the specimen and state 2 diseases it transmits. Now, it's a housefly. Diseases that it transmits include cholera, typhoid fever. Next question says, mention one adaptation that helps in feeding. Mention one adaptation that helps in feeding. Pair of legs and has 2 body segments, which are the cephalothorax and the abdomen. That's for specimen B, which is the spider. Specimen C, the pride of Barbados flower. Identify the specimen and state its floral parts. This is the pride of Barbados flower. Botanical name cells, Zepinia pulcherrima. The floral parts are sepals, the petals, the stamens, the pistil. The sepals, the petals, the stamens, the pistil. These are the floral parts. Next, state this type of symmetry. Type of symmetry is zygomorphic. Specimen D is a bean seed. Draw and label the longitudinal section of the seed. So later on at the end of the video, I will send you some of the pictures of the diagrams for this specimen. So in the label, you should have the seed coat, the cotyledon, the radicle, the plumule, the helium. Then, what type of germination does this specimen have? That is the epigeal germination, and grows above the seed comes above the soil surface. That's epigeal germination. Now specimen E is a butterfly. State the class and mode of feeding of the butterfly. State the class. Belongs to insecta, and the mode of feeding siphoning with the proboscis. That's what it's used for feeding. Siphoning is the mode of feeding using the proboscis. Specimen F is a crayfish. Mention 2 adaptations for movement. 1, it has jointed appendages, and 2, it has a tail fan used for swimming. These are the adaptations for movement for specimen F, which is the crayfish. Now, classify the specimen. Classify the specimen, which is the crayfish, belongs to crustacean. Belongs to the crustacean. So you have to be very careful with your spellings. Very important in biology. Spellings are taken very importantly. Okay, that's for the crayfish. Specimen G is a grasshopper. Mention 2 mouth parts types in grasshopper. It has a mandible and a maxilla for chewing. State its mode of feeding. It's herbivorous. In other words, it feeds on grasses. That's the mode of feeding for specimen G, which is a grasshopper. Specimen H, the humerus of a rabbit. State the function of the humerus bone. It supports four-limb movement. Of course, you know it's a skeleton. The type of joint found with the radius and ulna is called the hinge joint. So we have to be very careful of spelling the hinge joint. Specimen I, the femur of a rabbit. Classify the bone. It is a long bone. State 1 function. It supports hind limb and aids movement. Of course, it's also a skeleton, which is one of the functions of the skeleton. I will send pictures at the end of the video. Specimen J, the orange fruit. What type of fruit is it? The fleshy fruit that has a hesperidium. What's the method of seed dispersal of this? It's being dispersed by animals because it's edible and juicy. So that is the method of dispersal. Specimen K, the honeybee. State is economic importance, pollination and honey production. That's the economic importance. And the type of mouth part is the chewing mouth part. So very important. So let's just take note of this. Then we'll go over to the next specimen. Please, as you are looking at all this, please take note of your spellings. Like I said, spellings are very, very important, so we should take it very seriously. So most of these diagrams will be sent at the end of this video. Specimen L is the land snail. Now name two adaptive features of the land snail. It has slimy foot for movement and also shell for protection. Shell for protection. What was the mode of respiration? It breathes through the skin. And that's in specimen M. You have the guava fruit. The type of fruit is fleshy or simple berry. Seed dispersal method is by animals via ingestion. They eat up the seeds. Specimen N, Irish potato tuber. Identify the mode of reproduction, the vegetative propagation using tubers. What structure supports this mode? As the eye buds. That's the structure that supports this mode. That's for specimen A. And the last specimen, specimen O, the sweet potato tuber. State one difference from Irish potato. The sweet potato tuber stores food in the roots, while Irish potato stores food in the stem. That's for the sweet potato tuber. That's specimen O. Alright, so I will send the pictures or some of the diagrams that we must take very importantly. We must learn to draw them correctly and label them accurately. Thanks for watching.